Welcome, everybody, to today's weekly town hall meeting, April 11th, 2023. Today's agenda: projects and development updates, documentation updates, and collaborations. Robinson, project and development updates, please.
Okay, thank you. So the blockchain on the product updates, we have on the blockchain side, we have two activities going on. One is the work towards mainnet release for the legacy code base, and secondly on the Peerplays 2 platform. On the legacy code base, we've been working on verifying the connectivity with the sidechains. But on the Bitcoin side, we are delayed a little bit because of the syncing with the lib Bitcoin server. It's taking little too long, and our original we had a backup which got corrupted. So we are at this point we're trying to resync with the network and verify the functionality. So that's in progress. Apart from that, we have been increasing the test coverage so that once this code basic enters maintenance mode, we'll be able to run these test cases and identify any uh, bugs or side effects. So that's yeah. So that's update from the legacy code base. Please go to the next slide. On the Peerplays 2, we no the previous one. Yeah, thank you. On the Peerplays 2 R&D, we've been making a lot of progress, and we've also moved all our blockchain resources to the substrate and REST-based product right now. So we had two developers actively working, and now third developer was moved last week, and from this week onwards, the fourth developer is also slowly getting uh, getting the taste of the Rust-based framework. And in terms of work, we've completed changing the Genesis, and then right now the major focus is on understanding how the Ethereum addresses and the substrate addresses are working together. So that's on progress. Another work is we are trying to upgrade the substrate version, which is the new version would be 0.9.39. So we have been working for last couple of weeks to upgrade to this version. So this upgrade will also give us support for the new features from the Friendier project, which supports which is a project we're using for EVM support. So it's essential that we upgrade to the newer version of Substrate to take advantage of those features. So we're working on that. In addition to that, the test coverage. So we're working on increasing the test coverage and also generating test reports. So it looks like the test coverage for the substrate itself was pretty high. It's more than 80%. But for the third party products or libraries or palettes, it's quite low. So and also the code that we have written ourselves, so we don't have much of a coverage. So we're trying to increase that. And another attempt is we need a reporting mechanism. So we're trying to integrate with something like Sonar so that we can get a better understanding of the test coverage. So it looks like we've already increased the test coverage a little bit, but we need to integrate this with our CI so that the GitLab pipelines will run. So that work is also in progress. So that's the exciting things from Peerplays 2's world. Let's go to the next slide. On the next, the slide remains the same as the previous week, but behind the screens, uh, the work for support for Ethereum is it's completed, and the JS library related changes that is also completed. So this was required to get the gas price, the changed gas price. So the gas price for uh, the sun related operations, Ethereum sun's related operations. So that is also completed, and it's getting merged, and it will get verified hopefully this week, and we will be ready for the mainnet release. Uh, so by the time we have the mainnet release, we have to upgrade next as well. So in the next couple of weeks, the QA also will be completed, and we'll move on to a mainnet release. So the current status with Next plus the Peerplays one is that uh, on the blockchain side, we are yet to verify the Bitcoin functionality with Bitcoin. So once that is done, and if there are any bugs, we'll address that, and then the Next will be tested against the same environment, and then we'll go for a Peerplays mainnet release, uh, which will be followed by a next release. So mostly we'll have a next release only after the mainnet is upgraded and the hard fork is completed. Yeah, so these are the main updates, and we also have. Let's go to the next slide. On the together, we are trying to identifying. Jonathan has already mentioned it. So we're trying to identify a team to help us with the UI design. So that's on progress, and uh, internally we are working towards resource allocation, identification of the tech stack, etc. So in general, this is going to be a React app with a database in the backend. And as for the API, we will mostly be using GraphQL, so that we don't have to write our own APIs. So that's the current understanding. So once we have the uh, team identified, we'll have the final details on the tech stack and other finer details. Yeah, so that's all from the development team. Thank you so much.
Documentation updates, please, Sean.
Okay. So for this week in our documentation updates, we have our Ethereum Suns install guide that's coming along, and it should be ready fairly soon here. We have our risk register document, and work continues on that. We have user stories and wireframes that I'm putting together for the Together app MVP. And some news here, our project kickoff for Together is going to be happening next week. So I'm excited about that. Also, we have PeerView working with GBC, and we're working on our test net so that we can implement data models and prepare for more work on PeerView. So thank you very much. That is this week's update in documentation.
Thank you, Sean. Jonathan, let's have collaboration updates, please.
Hello, these are the collaboration updates for this past week in Peerplays. So within the standards category, there was the Government Blockchain Association regarding decentralized ID, and also the work group in regards to gaming. We attended a number of the workshops over the last few weeks for decentralized ID and contributed to the module that's being worked on that's going to be incorporated into the blockchain maturity model that's used by the Government Blockchain Association. So this is exciting because it's going to allow us to be able to have inputs that will directly relate to how Peerplays handles decentralized ID. So that's all good. And within the community sector, Avalon Meta and Scenes, we had another meeting with them in regards to the integration of Peerplays tokens, and that progressed well. And on another note, in regards to collaborations, although it's not necessarily started yet, we are looking to collaborate with marketing agencies. And so over the course of this next week, we're going to be exploring that. And that is in relation to the upcoming launch of the Together app. So that will be something else we're doing. It's not necessarily a collaboration specifically in the sense of these others, but we are going to be looking to try to work with someone closely who's going to be able to ensure the success of its launch. So in terms of dedicated team updates, there are no changes. And that's the updates for this past week. Thank you.
Thank you, Jonathan. Questions, comments, thoughts? There was nothing that came in from the community. So if there's nothing here, that will conclude today's weekly town hall meeting, April 11th, 2023. Thank you all so much for joining us, and stay tuned for some town hall updates. Thank you.